Jason, being back here in front of the home crowd, Veterans Day weekend, what was this experience like today?
I mean, it's huge. Now, we've been on the road a couple weeks, obviously a couple tough losses, so very important for us to get back home and get back in front of the home crowd and kind of feed off that energy. We were able to do that today and really get the crowd into the game.
You know, you're such a leader on this team, and Coach Franklin really talking about going back to the basics and keeping the focus. You know, what was kind of the week of preparation like leading up to this, and kind of how gratifying was it to see everything kind of culminate out on the field today?
For us, I think we just need to get back to our fundamentals, getting back to our identity, who we are as a team. I think we kind of strayed away from that. I think we made a lot of mental mistakes these past two games that kind of weren't us. We were able to clean up a lot of those things today, and it really showed on the field.
You know, defensively, Coach Franklin having a lot of positive things to say, especially about, the ability to stop the Rutgers run game. What were you seeing out there that, was effective from the defense?
I just think guys are reading their keys really well. The D-line was establishing a new line of scrimmage. We were able to get them off schedule. We're stopping the run and making them one-dimensional. I mean, all those things really culminated to a really good defensive day, in my opinion.
A couple big areas. I think Cam Brown had the pass breakup, and then you had the big fourth down stop on the Rutgers fake punt. What was working right for you, and how crucial were kind of those types of plays?
I just think I was getting really clean reads. I mean, the D-line did a really good job of keeping those guys, the offensive linemen, off me. They were, swallowing up the double teams, and all those things are important to let the linebackers flow and play the way they need to play. And they've been doing that, honestly, really a really good job all year long. So kudos to those guys.
Speaking of the linebackers, somebody like Brandon Smith kind of stepping into, a starting role today, having, I think, a double-digit tackle performance. What did you see from him in terms of things that impressed you?
I mean, he played a really clean game. I mean, no mistakes. He tackled really well. I don't think he missed any tackles. Just all those things. I mean, he was communicating well as well. He was echoing all my calls, making sure the corner and the free safety to his side was, getting the call that I was making out there, because it's loud. You're in Beaver Stadium, a big crowd, and we like to get the crowd in the game. So having a guy like that who's going to go out and echo you and do those things makes it my job a lot easier.
Some resiliency kind of in the first quarter and even into the second quarter, kind of overcoming a little bit of a slow start. What was the sideline like? What was being said in the sidelines?
I just think we knew we weren't really playing up to our standard, up to our capabilities. I made a couple of mental mistakes and really tackling too well, but we cleaned that up in the second half. We tackled much better, stopped the run much better. We're getting him off schedule, a lot of TFLs, getting after the quarterback, not letting him scramble. All those things helped a ton.
Brandon, being able to be back here after 2 weeks on the road, how exciting was it to be able to get the win out on Beaver Stadium in front of the home crowd?
Really thankful. It was awesome. It was a 12 o'clock game and freezing cold out, and I think we had 107,000, like 500 fans there. So we love that, and that's awesome. And it's good to get back on a winning streak here, and build some more confidence and just finish out this season and focus on our next task.
For you stepping into the starting lineup today, obviously making the most of it, double-digit tackles today, what was working right for you?
I think it started with the D-line. I just didn't really feel too many second-level people climbing to the second level on me. So, they did a great job up front. And just, team defense, sometimes it just happens that, the ball pops open to where you're supposed to be in the defense, and it just seemed like that today. The quarterback had a couple of scrambles, and I had no one to cover, so it was just, there for me to go and force on the quarterback. So that's just how it works out. So.
A couple of seconds ago, I was talking to Jason Cabinda, and he said, today your performance just absolutely, making all the reads and getting the tackles, no missed assignments. What was the week of preparation kind of like for you in terms of learning this Rutgers team and then being able to go out there and execute today?
Yeah, thankfully I had the opportunity to train at will in training camp. So I kind of knew the defense already and knew what I was supposed to be doing. So Coach Pry did a great job of just really pounding their base stuff, and that inside zone they have, and some split zone and split flow they had. Ultimately, we'd seen it a bunch of times this week, so it wasn't anything new. And I think just the game plan we had going in was pretty simple. It was straightforward, and just let guys do their job, and it worked out.
Curtis, I asked a couple of guys about this already today, but how exciting was it to finally be back home in Beaver Stadium and get the win on the home field?
I mean, it's great. I mean, we obviously have great fans, and they come out here and support us every week. So it's definitely great. I mean, we had a 2-road stress, so it's nice to get back at home. So.
What specifically was working right for you in the D-line today?
I think it's just, holding in on our jobs and our responsibilities, striking our keys, being in the right gaps and being gap sound, And, if we cover up every gap, there's nowhere for them to run, so it worked out.
Obviously you a leader on the defensive line, but when I talked to, guys like Brandon Smith and Jason Cabinda, they talked about kind of their job was a little bit easier today because of the work that you guys were putting in. What specifically did you kind of see from everybody around you in their performance as well?
Everybody stepped up. It's been a rocky past couple of weeks and that type of thing. But, everybody just, like I said before, just going back to, doing our job. If everybody does their job on each play, it works out.
What was this week kind of like in practice for you in terms of being able to learn about this Rutgers team so that you kind of be able to get out there and execute today?
It was definitely a big deal, we work a lot in practice, on certain things that we're going to be able to see. Especially like the trades and shifts and that whole thing. But, it definitely just worked out for the best. We practice very hard every week, but, it was just a little something extra this week because, we had to get back on track.
And how exciting, what is the locker room like right now?
The locker room is great. Everybody's, got a smile on their face like I do. It's great to finally get a win back under our belt. So.